Let's understand how to use different fonts in CSS. First of all, we create a p tag inside of HTML, so we'll see the difference later on. So we have this font right here. And now we can add a different font by going to Google Fonts, for example, and searching for a different font right there. So we can browse fonts right here by clicking on the link. Once the website is loaded, we can basically scroll through thousands of fonts and choose a font that we want to use. So we could, for example, use StoryScript if we want to do so. And now on the website, we can press the Get Font button. And right here, you can, for example, click the Get Embedded Code button. And right here, you see two options. You can either use the link to import the font, or you can use an import statement to import the font. And all you have to do is basically copy the code right here. If you copy the link, you're going into your head in the HTML file and you just copy your links in there. And now you can use the font by copying the font family line, for example, going into your CSS file. Now we can, for example, target the paragraph. We go back to our page to see the difference. And now we paste the font family, StoryScript, sans serif in there. And we'll save our file and you will see a difference. And now, as you can see, we have a different font right here. Now, obviously, the link is just the first option and there's a second option, but I usually prefer the link option. But you can obviously also delete this again. Now we have our base font again. And now we try to use the import method. So we are going to go to the add import method right here and we'll copy this link. And as you can see, we need to import this one in a style sheet. So we are going into our style CSS, which we are already in basically. We're going to paste this URL. And now again, we can copy the font family, StoryScript, sans serif. We're going to paste that into the brackets of our paragraph. We'll save our website. And again, we have the same outcome. So we basically have our font once again. This time we use the import method. I would highly recommend you to use the link method though, because that one is better when it comes to performance and loads the font a little bit faster, because obviously the head gets executed prior to the CSS file. So head gets executed, you load the font and you immediately have the font. And the other option is obviously you load the font once you load the CSS file, and that might take a little longer. So definitely recommended to use the link inside of the head when importing fonts in CSS. And that's all you need to know about fonts in CSS.